you want to play some intro?
Oh, that's too close.
Yeah,
it's ambient miking outside. So.
All right. Wie krass, ja, wie hier Paul Gilbert, wie krass, ich muss sagen, er ist einer meiner absolut krassesten Helden, ohne Scheiß. Es gibt echt wenige Gitarristen, über die ich so rede wie über ihn. Ja, es ist echt der absolute Hammer. Ich habe ihn noch nie live getroffen. So it's all about German. So do you speak German?
I don't. I barely speak English anymore.
Yeah, all right, okay. So und fast okay. So what I said is you are one of the greatest idols of my generation. It's yeah, you are because when you stand for all that Mike Varney shredding area, like Vinnie Moore and Tony McAlpine and Paul Gilbert, and what do you think of that time? What is your biggest memory?
I'm happy to be a part of any time. let me get my E string too. There we go.
So do you see Mike Varney once in a while?
I haven't seen him in a while. I got an email from the other day.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a heavy metal time, and when I was a teenager, I was really into heavy metal, and into playing super fast. And it's odd because human beings live for a long time.
Yeah, sure.
And or hopefully they do. And so as the years have gone by, my musical tastes have gone very wide. And I like all kinds of things. I mean, Gary Willis is in there right now playing a really beautiful version of Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. And, I'm actually a huge pop music fan. I love the Beatles, and I love 70s and 60s pop music.
You like chords, right?
I love chords.
I love chords.
And
you get the better chords than pop music.
And actually someday I'll probably become a jazz fan, because there you get the real chords.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm talking too long. I'll let you go to your next question.
Ich habe ihn gefragt nach den Mike Varney-Zeiten. Er war so einer der Helden von Mike Varney, die alle das Shredding da begründet haben. Und er hat gesagt, naja, es geht halt weiter und man wird älter und so weiter. Und es geht auch um andere Musikstile. Und gerade die ganzen Pop-Sachen interessieren ihn sehr, weil es da halt auch um Akkorde geht. Und das ist krass. I mean, you're a big fan of Ibanez guitars.
I am, that's true.
And do you have a lot of vintage Ibanez guitars?
I do. Because they started making guitars in the 60s.
Yeah, sure.
So I've got an old 60s hollow body.
Yeah.
And of course in the 70s they made some amazing copies and original stuff too. Like I've got an Artist 12 string from the 70s, and
all that great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got like a neck through.
Have you seen the show here? Right.
I'm sorry?
Have you seen the show here, the vintage show?
I have. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what was your first Ibanez guitar?
Well, the first one I ever played, my uncle had an Ibanez Destroyer from like 1976. And that was the first electric guitar I ever put my hands on. And I loved it, so I never forgot that Ibanez. And then after that, the first one I got was one they made for me in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
A pink one.
Yeah.
And that was great.
So is it the same one from the first video? From
the first instructional video?
Yeah.
No, that was a little that was more of a purple one.
Yeah. Oh. Was it purple or pink?
That was purplish.
So with the mini humbucker?
Yeah, that's more purple. Yeah. It was supposed to be purple.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a few guitars in, but I love that one too.
I mean, the first thing I heard from you was the first Racer X record, where you played that Frenzy stuff.
Yeah.
And what I mean, there was a sticker on the record, like 19-year or 17-year-old guitar, idle, glistening lead guitar, and I said, okay, so I mean, it was a time where everybody was listening to Yngwie and to Van Halen and all that stuff. And I mean, you were incredibly young at that time.
Incredibly what?
Young.
Young?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's insane.
That's true. Yeah. Everybody's incredibly young at one time.
So when did you start playing?
I began when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
Was really when I started practicing every day.
Yeah.
I tried before then, but I gave up. But when I was 9, I got serious. That's when I became an adult.
All right. Okay. And you're the guitar teacher who taught you to pick just.
Well,
Just
let's put it this way. When I was 6, I had some guitar lessons.
Yeah.
And so I gave up because it was basically learning how to read.
Such a great story. Yeah.
And I didn't want to read. And so 3 years later, I decided, okay, I'm going to play guitar.
Yeah.
And I thought, what did my guitar teacher tell me? And for some reason, I thought he told me only to play up. He probably didn't. It's probably just I have a bad memory. But that's what I thought, and so that's what I did. I only played up for 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I have one serious thing to ask you.
Okay.
I know you're a big Yngwie fan, and I mean, Yngwie is very much known for his sweep picking technique. Do you play sweep picking?
You know what I love about Yngwie?
Huh?
That I think the people who copy Yngwie miss this. Yngwie's vibrato.
Yeah, sure.
Is one of the most beautiful.
I think it's the best
things.
in the world. Yeah, sure.
And the others. I mean, certainly the other things he does are face melting and great.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, many of the people who copy Yngwie, they want to copy the whittly whittly, and then they do like wanky vibrato.
Yeah, sure.
And Yngwie, when I listen to him, just his vibrato is so good. It's just that part is like.
And it's getting better these years.
It's just such a towering achievement. And sweeping, at one point I learned some of it, but I couldn't. Every time I.
But I know you don't like it. You don't like sweep.
Well, when I do sweep picking, it sounds like sweep picking.
Yeah.
It sounds like I suddenly stepped into another pair of shoes, and it's like, okay, now I'm doing this certain. It sounds like a technique.
Yeah.
And I don't want my playing to sound like a technique. I want my playing to sound like music. And so it has a little bit too much of a technique sound for me. And plus, it was hard for me to do it rhythmically. Whereas if I do arpeggios with like hammer-ons and pull-offs, if I go, I can still get, a wide arpeggio.
Yeah.
But I can plant that in time. And if I try to sweep pick that, it's just a different feel.
Yeah. More slobby, more loose.
Well,
more
sloppy when I do it.
Yeah, no.
But or if you do like any kind of pattern.
Yeah.
Like if you had, for example, in classical music, most arpeggios aren't just straight up and down.
Yeah.
Like if you sweep pick, it's that's sort of. But to me, that's sort of like, that's like a guitar thing. And I think the best arpeggios are in classical music or things that keyboard players do. So, for example, you know the band Kansas?
Sure.
They have the song Point of No Return, which goes. And that line is played on the violin and the organ. And it's, And I'm doing it with hammer-ons and pull-up, like the same kind of technique I do with Freebird, but just doing it with arpeggio. And it's easy to play. I can do it even when I'm on camera. But if I tried to sweep pick that, it would be horrible because I have to. It just doesn't work for that.
But I know you do better.
No, I don't. But sweep picking is really good for going.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to music than. So that's why I like other stuff.
So you know how to do it, but you don't do it.
That's and I'm done.
All right. So you have a new model. So the Iceman.
Upside down
became
the fireman.
The fireman.
Exactly.
So
the opposite of ice is fire.
Right. Okay. So what is it?
Well, I always loved the Iceman.
Yeah.
And but if you flip it upside down, the place where the strap is located makes the guitar balance really well. You can take your hands off; it doesn't go. Some guitars will do that, and so it just feels really good when you wear it. And I also had them make a nice thick neck joint and a pretty thick neck, so the sustain and the resonance, there's really good tone. And I also like the idea of angling the pickups. Yeah. Because it makes the high notes a little warmer, and it makes the low notes a little more clear. So when I'm playing a high note, It's still
It's more sweet.
It still cuts through, but yeah, much sweeter. And the low notes cut through really nice. You know. So it's just everything I want in a guitar. It feels, I feel so at home with this guitar.
All right, but the model before that, you had 3 single coils in a row.
I began with single coils, which
was. So I mean, normally you play the tone zone. You always played humbuckers.
Yeah. Well,
so what was the reason for switching to single coils?
So Frank Marino is one of my guitar heroes, and I saw him live, and he was playing an SG with 3 single coils. He also had one with 2 humbuckers, but the single coil one sounded better. And I was really surprised, you know, because typically SGs, you know, have humbuckers. And so I called up DiMarzio, and they sent me out some really nice single coils.
Yeah.
And I really liked them. And so, you know, that's on the first edition of the Fireman, and they're great. But of course, you know, I do love humbuckers as well.
Absolutely.
And so I was curious to see what they would sound like. And this is maybe the only guitar in the world that has humbuckers that are angled this way.
I think I saw it on some Washburns before.
Oh, the Mosrite.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. That's cool though.
Yeah.
So it's the second guitar in the world.
So it looks
angled.
So it looks wrong, but I mean it's a really great design. So how about the story? You flipped the design in Photoshop. Is it true?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the way you got the design.
Well, I wanted to. I knew it was such a strange idea.
Yeah.
That I thought, you know, if I just write it down on paper, you know, it might not turn out right.
Yeah.
So I thought a picture is worth 1,000 words. You know, I should have make a picture in Photoshop, send it to Ibanez, and they made it, and they did such a great job.
Yeah.
And I love it. And this is a stock. I mean, this is straight from the factory.
Okay.
You know, I did the pickup thing as an experiment, but the guitar itself is, you know, straight from the factory. I take it around the world. You know, so they're really doing a good job at consistently make them. You know, if you get one, it's the same as my guitar.
Okay. Also was er gesagt hat, er hat natürlich aus der Iceman wird die Fireman und das ist im Prinzip eine Iceman andersrum und das hat er deswegen gemacht, weil die Gitarre einfach anders balanciert ist. Genau, so sieht es aus wie eine Iceman, so sieht es aus wie eine Fireman. Und er hatte erst ein Modell mit 3 Single Coils, habt ihr ja alles gehört und im Prinzip ist er jetzt auch wieder bei den Humbuckern, er ist halt ein Humbucker-Typ. But you don't play the tone zone anymore, right?
Oh no, these are DiMarzio Air Classics.
Yeah. So more open in the mid-range.
They just, I put them in a lot of guitars and they always sound good.
Yeah.
And I think for a humbucker, they're on the low output side, which I like. Is I can always make it louder with an amp or a pedal.
There's all the gain you want from the amplifier.
But it's nice to be able to clean it up and have some dynamics, and it matches the single coil a little better.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, as you are known as one of the world greatest pickers of all time. Yeah. What I like in your workshops is that you put the focus on rhythm, on beat and rhythm to get everything in the beat. Yeah, that's very important. Is it? It's not important. It's absolutely.
I do so much teaching.
Yeah, sure.
And so I get to watch.
Yeah.
I get to see what people have done with what I've taught, and there's. Actually, I have an online guitar school.
Yeah.
You can go there at artistworks.com. And you know, every day I go there and I see videos of my students and they send me in their playing and I listen. And the first thing that I listen for, and anyone's playing, is are they telling me where 1 is? So
mostly example, they do not.
Yeah. They don't, and I'm you know, one guitar player at a time. I'm changing that.
Yeah.
And if you listen to my students now, a year later, because I've been teaching now for a year at this school, now they're really good at getting that message through your guitar. Because when you play guitar, you're sending musical messages to your listener. You know, you're relating musical information. You got to tell them what key you're in, and hopefully you tell them what time you're in. You know, what's the tempo? Where's 1? And if you can do that, you become such a powerful musician. Whether it's fast, whether it's slow, you know, those elements are always important.
So it's all about rhythm, everything. Yeah. Okay. So just do me one favor.
Okay.
Could you show me? I mean, there's one lick I name. I mean, it's the Paul Gilbert lick.
The Paul Gilbert.
Yeah, the Paul Gilbert lick, and you do that with your insane long fingers, just so you show your pinky into the camera.
Oh, this is part of the
das ist pinky. Also hat auf jeden Fall den längsten kleinen Finger der Welt. No, it's not arpeggio. It's not arpeggio. It's just a thing you played on the Francie thing. Or a lot of times. It's like you do just a minor scale.
Minor scale.
6 notes. No.
Oh, like that.
Some kind of that. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of Van Halen-ish,
Yeah.
like a rough.
A little bit. Yeah. So what do you do there?
It's I'm going to show you how that evolved.
Okay.
Get ready.
Yeah.
It started by me learning Sweet Leaf by Black Sabbath. So Sweet Leaf goes like this. It's the middle section of the song.
Yeah.
And it's going that way. So that's the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's just 2 fingers doing this pull off. Like I'll do it in A. I'll go. And a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs. So now let's change the notes to. Now let's change it to. So same technique, just change the notes.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna go. Now I'm gonna go. Again, the same technique. Now I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna do like back and forth, like. Now I'm gonna add.
That's the evolution.
Now I'm gonna add a little hammer-on and pull-off.
Ah, there's it.
So it all came from Sweet Leaf. Thank you, Tony Iommi.
Wie geil. Okay, ich glaube, wir haben's. Okay, thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
For having you here. Was my great honor to have you. Fine.
Alright.
Okay, das war Paul Gilbert. Und mir wackeln immer noch die Knie. Say hello to Germany. To session music.
Hello to Germany. Nice to be here. Sorry I haven't been looking this way. The sun's in my eyes.